The Auburn Tigers made that tougher than it needed to be. But goodness gracious, Elijah Freeman and Keyshawn Hall.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day and after every single Auburn basketball game. Hunter Bussey filling in for Daryl Dapprich. Tonight you can find Hunter over at thebarnauburn.com, as well as the Tailgate podcast and other things. The Auburn Tigers take down Chattanooga 92-78, Hunter, in a game that I would imagine almost every Auburn basketball fan watching this would be very, very frustrated. And I think you have every right to be frustrated. When we previewed this game, I said the only way you learn more about this team is if it's negative, if it's bad. If Auburn boat raced Chattanooga, I say, yeah, okay, cool. That's what should have happened. With them struggling specifically in the first half, some of the concerns from maybe some of the more pessimistic or realist, we'll see in time which one's correct, Auburn basketball fans, I think you have every argument to make about this basketball team right now. I know they won, but the concerns are certainly there.
Yeah, we were saying it before we went on air. This win feels like a loss just because at least from what I saw, the body language, it looked like we didn't want to be there. Even when we were up, it was bad. I just don't understand what's going on with the team chemistry, specifically with Tahad and Keyshawn. We talked about that earlier on the barn too. So I don't know what's up. A little worried there on that. Maybe it's a chemistry thing, but you would hope they get the chemistry thing figured out before SEC play, considering we're 2 or 3 games away from that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back and forth between how much of this is roster and how much of this is preparation. In the first half, I mean, it was very loosey-goosey. And, some of this is you're playing a team that has lost to some pretty bad teams, and they're ranked towards the bottom of the country in the net, and they're ranked towards the bottom of the country in KenPom, not a good college basketball team. And you're playing in a place where you typically play pretty well. And Tahad goes off for 20, Keyshawn goes off for 22, Elijah Freeman, 19 points for him. And Auburn offensively did fine. It's just the defensive attention to detail. In some cases, I would say physical limits, but that's not the case against Chattanooga. I mean, you're more physical and bigger, better, faster, stronger than them. That's the kind of stuff where, if you're a part of this Auburn fan base that's concerned about how this season's going to go, tonight certainly didn't change your mind on any of that.
No. I'm trying to figure out what it is exactly that they're, why they're not clicking on defense. Offense, they seem fine. They seem okay. Keyshawn's going to get his. Tahad is going to get his if he can find it. Yeah. Especially on the road. Freeman is starting to come along really well. Because Stephen Pearl is a defensive coach. So it's what's up? You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe it's something they're just trying to work out. And like I said a minute ago, hopefully they can figure that out for SEC play because yikes.
Right.
Yikes.
Right. Freeman made that 3 at the end of the first half, and that seemed to give Auburn some life. They came out in the second half, and for a second, I think it was a 12-0 run. Chattanooga looked, it looked how I thought the bulk of the game would go. And then even after that run, they still kind of let Chattanooga get closer than they should have and back in it. This is an awful, Chattanooga they're bad. They are bad.
Yeah.
I know there's the win is a win thing. And you hope that Auburn just playing down to the level of competition, but I don't know. There's some aspects of this team, the scoring I think is going to be fine against most teams, but the stuff around the basket and the defensive switches, it just doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah, down low, I'm worried about especially in SEC play down low, because there's a lot of big guys, like the Floridas of the conference. They're going to kill us. That's what I'm worried about. And you can't rely on, if the stat still holds up that Tahad is leading the team in blocks, you can't have your point guard blocking bigs in the paint. That's just not possible unless you're Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? And we don't have that. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things that'll keep you up at night if you're an Auburn fan, and I hope that they figure it out.
Yeah, look, and I'm still not in the jump on Steven. Like, this isn't Steven's roster. I'm sure he had a hand in it, obviously, with his dad. But as far as prioritizing certain guys and an IL allotment, that wouldn't have been his call. That would have been his dad's call. So I'm willing to give him a pass on the roster. I'm not going to give him as much of a pass on like the offense not having any sort of plan to start these games. That's on him. That's on coaching. I'm willing to look past the physical limitations. It's the execution or even the intent to execute that I'm looking at. For all the folks asking in the chat, like, what's Steven's buyout? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But yeah. And some of it is like certain guys need to step up. And like Elijah Freeman stepping up to me was encouraging. Was absolutely encouraging. I mean, to me, that was the highlight of the game.
Yeah, I thought, and you said it a minute ago, that 3 before half was the spark that, kind of made that 12-0 run go. And I wish we could have kept consistency with that because, they ended up making it a game again. And that's where, these, the Bamas, the Tennessees, we can't be doing that. They'll come back and slap you in the face and we won't be able to get up.
Right. Some interesting names did not play in the second half. I assume they're for different reasons. Let's jump into that. In just a moment as we recap Auburn's 92-78 win over Chattanooga here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook. Earlier today when I went live, I said Auburn would cover. My bad. 20.5. Auburn should have. I will stand by that. It's disappointed they did not run Chattanooga out of the building. FanDuel's great for live betting. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. For football, a receiver gets hot or a defense tightens up or the momentum flips over after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump in to the moment. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Aura Frames. Christmas time is here, and I know we're all kind of scrambling, like, okay, have I bought something for them? Well, Aura Frames, it's a great gift that always delivers. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it, so when they plug it in, the memories are already there. I've gifted an Aura frame in the past to family and to folks that live out of town that want to see, we're able to update pictures of their grandkids without having to do anything, which is super, super cool. So for a limited time, you could save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off of Aura's best-selling frames. Use code COLLEGE at checkout. That's Aura Frames, AURA frames.com. Use promo code COLLEGE for that deal. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Auburn takes down Chattanooga 92-78. Kevin Overton played 0 minutes in the second half, and so did Simon Walker, played 0 minutes in the second half. So Overton played 11 minutes in the first half. In the second half, Hunter, you pointed out that he was sitting on the bench kind of like hanging his head.
Yeah. A little worried about that. I hope it's not super serious. Maybe he just tweaked something and, maybe it's something that was lingering that we don't know about. But I noticed that I think right before, like the 2-minute mark, like when they were shooting free throws, like he just kind of did his head down like that. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. So I'm sure Steven will be asked about that in the presser that's probably about to start as we do this live. And the other guy who didn't play in the second half that I thought was interesting, Simon Walker, came in for 6 minutes in the first half and was electric. 2 for 2 from 3. Didn't shoot it again after that. I think that's wrong. I don't care if there's a guy in your face. If you're 2 for 2 from 3, you keep shooting it until you miss one. So I thought that was interesting. But he was liability defensively, but offensively he can make shots.
Yeah, he was invoking echoes of Kyle Korver and Hawks Arena. I don't know why you take him out of the game. but I don't know.
Yep. So I think that's interesting. We'll get more info. I'm sure Stephen will be asked that in the post game, so we can react to that in time if it is significant.
Yeah.
Hunter, what was your biggest takeaway from the game tonight?
Biggest takeaway. I mean, obviously, we said a minute ago, a win's a win, but with a game like this, you would expect it to be a little bit better. It didn't feel like, a win should, I guess I would say, but I need the chemistry to be a little bit better because it just felt off. The energy felt off. Like it's a game in Atlanta. It should be exciting. It's an alternate site. Your fans showed up. I don't see, it's like from the get-go, they just didn't want to be there. And it was like uninspired, like they were playing without fire. I don't know. Just a little odd to me. Hopefully they fix that down the road. Maybe it has to relate to the chemistry thing. Not really sure. But I'm hoping they can get that reined in quick because they're going to have to figure it out.
Yep. Nope. I'm there with you. As far as what's next for the Auburn Tigers, obviously they play Purdue a week from today, which I think there's differing opinions on how good Purdue actually is, but we'll get to see that firsthand in Indianapolis. I mean, I imagine that'll be pretty much a home game for Purdue. So next 5 for Auburn: Purdue and Indy, Queens, which is from Charlotte. Didn't know that.
Interesting.
Then they start conference play at Georgia. They host Texas A&M, and then they host Arkansas. Chat, what are we thinking of these next 5 games for the Tigers? I'm going to say 3-2 for Auburn over the next 5 games.
Okay. I could see that. I could easily see them being under 500 maybe if they keep turning the ball over like that.
Yeah, no, so Queens obviously is going to be one where you feel good about winning, but then it's like, okay, and if you want to give Purdue one of the losses, it's like, all right, can Auburn go 2-3 in their first 3 SEC games? I think that's a reasonable question.
Yeah, and I just saw someone bring it up in the chat. Is the Purdue game going to be one of those blowout losses like Michigan, Arizona, or do you think we hang with them?
If it is a blowout loss, that's concerning.
It is. It's very concerning.
Concern.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. I think if it's...
So are you saying 2-3?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Sorry. I meant to get that out.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, I mean, that would be bad. Because I do think some of these are gettable SEC games at the beginning. Especially with Arkansas being at home and A&M being at home. Like you need to win those games. But
yeah, I kind of hope the crowd put some energy into the team and they can play a little bit more inspired. Especially, I mean, A&M and Arkansas are not necessarily pushovers, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I mean, when a team shows you over and over and over again who they are, like, I guess we have to believe them. And I know it's so easy to say. We talked about this during the Barncast, probably about an hour ago, where yes, this is a team that's bringing everybody back and they're learning to play with each other. But at some point, and I think we're there, like that narrative needs to go away because now it doesn't matter. Who's play with each other enough.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's honestly, if we're having that conversation, about a week in SEC play, then we need to start looking at, tickets for the NIT personally, if we even make that.
Yeah, I'm not ready to do that. I think if Auburn has a 500 record in SEC play, they go, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Somebody asked about the TV stuff for Purdue. It looks like it's just on Peacock. I don't know.
Is it really? Interesting.
That's what it has here. It might be on NBC as well, but usually it says NBC/Peacock. It just says Peacock. So
maybe they have an update. Well, it's a week away, so it might be on Peacock.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know. We'll update you on the show throughout the week. That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. So, all right, cool. Auburn wins 92-78. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for a little bit. Hunter, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
Check us out at Tailgate Show on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast, as well as Bubba on the Lake. That is a podcast I help my dad out with, as well as my YouTube channel. Just look up Hunter Bussey on YouTube. You can find me there.
Folks are confirming it is only on Peacock. So there you go.
Okay,
there you
cool.
go. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you're tuned in on audio. Please subscribe and leave us a review. Helps the show out a ton. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.